Hi, I'm Holly from BB Library, and I'm going to show you how to do the craft in your grab-and-go bags. And this craft is going to be a circle weaving. And to do that, if I turn it over, you can see I used just a CD that I found around the house. So you should have in there, you should have a CD, and you should also have some different kinds of yarn. And the only thing you're going to need from home is a pair of scissors. So put those right there. So to start off with, take a piece of yarn, get a fairly good sized piece of yarn, and to start, we're just going to tie the yarn through the hole like this. There we go. Oops, there, got away from me. Then we're going to take the yarn and we're going to put it through the hole and pull it through, and it's going to be just like making spokes all the way around. This is going to make our little circle weaving loom. It doesn't matter how many of these you do. I've done them with as few as 9, and I've done them with as most as 33. And the only trick is make sure that you have an odd number. It doesn't matter how many. They do look better depending on the yarn. If you've got yarn that's kind of fuzzy, you can use less of these spokes. If you've got yarn like I'm using here, which is really very, very thin, you want to do more. So make your first piece long enough that you can do as many as you need. Okay, I'm getting kind of low here on yarn. So let's see, how many do I have? Oops, get that over there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like I'm going to get 13 out of this. 13's good. Let me double check. Okay, I've got 13. Then when you do that, you're just going to come through to the back side, find the closest spoke on the back, and tie a knot. There we go. Cut that off. So your loom is ready. So with your yarn, you don't have to get big, huge pieces, especially in the beginning. As you go on, you get around the outside, you're going to find that the yarn goes pretty fast. So just start with a piece, cut it off, and the first piece I do like to tie onto the back. The rest I don't. The rest I just tuck under. So I'm just going to tie this onto any one of the spokes, and there we go. And push it through to the front. Sorry, just gonna clip that off. I can see it from the front. There we go. Now we're ready to weave. And just like with any weaving, you're going to go over and under the spokes. So I'm going to go under the first one, skip over that one, go under, over, under. You'll find that pretty much just go under every other one and pull it around. There we go. And you know, I found that if you make a mistake when you get going, it doesn't make that much difference. But I do always try to do mine the right way. And you can go through a few of these at a time. You don't have to do them one by one. And this is what you do. You just keep going around and around and around. You can change yarn at any point, and you can be creative. You can throw in maybe a row of something that could be something like a chenille stem, or you can add on at any point if you wanted to put in some beads or buttons. You would just like put it through down to the bottom and let the little bead there. At one point, I was putting beads inside the when I was putting the spokes around. I was putting a bead down at the bottom. So you can just be creative. Try ribbon, try string, cut strips of paper. You can just do anything that you'd like. These actually, for being such a simple thing to do, are quite beautiful when you start adding something to it. I don't know. I like them just as they are too. And I find it really kind of relaxing. I've done this while I've been listening to music or kind of half watching something on television. All right, so you just keep going around and around. I'm going to do a couple more, and then I'll show you how you can add when you run out, because you will run out of yarn. Let me just get a couple more little turns here. And I like this too. I love knitting, but I have found that I cannot count at all. I end up with a scarf that is 3 inches longer on one side than the other. So this works well. I'm just going to go around to this first green one, and then I'll... All right, so let's say that right now I want to change my color, or I've run out of yarn. So I've run out of yarn. So all you're going to do is, I'm going to just go over the next one, and then just take your scissors and kind of push this underneath. When this gets longer, it's going to be so much easier to find the, just tuck it under because it gets long. So I'm going to take another color. We'll go dramatic. We'll go with some purple. You don't need to really do a whole lot more than just tuck it underneath, because it gets entirely buried. And so we went over, so this is under. So we're going under this one, and then you just continue. So we pull that through. So there we go. And then you just continue for as long as you'd like to do it. You can fill the whole. You can fill the whole thing all the way down to the bottom, or if you want to get creative, you could just do a portion of it. I put together once a group of them as a wall hanging, and I did different portions. So you just keep going until you fill. In the case of the one that I made for a sample, I filled it, but I didn't have to, but I made the mistake. I did it on the wrong side, so you can see the CD, so I had to fill the whole thing. Fuzzier yarn goes faster because you don't have to make it quite as tight. Then this yarn that I used is particularly thin, but in some ways I think it looks cooler when you get done. So have fun doing some circle weaving. Be experimental. Try doing things. Throw some stuff in. You could even when you could get going, you could go and weave up through and make some different colored spokes by just going over and under through the yarn that's there. Good luck. Be creative. Send us a picture. We'd love to see what you're doing. Thank you.